This is the Selection Sunday show of the 2006 season. Coach Leroy Chapman and the Toledo Rockets are 26-2 overall. We are Mid-American Conference regular season champions, and we are the 2006 Mid-American Conference tournament champions, coming off of our championship victory over the Akron Zips. What a magical season it has been for the 2006 Toledo Rockets. A historic season, the winningest season in program history. We began the season with a dream, and we have done something that none of the experts could have possibly imagined. Going on an incredible run. This journey has been quite exciting here. 23-2 after the end of the regular season. Went into the conference tournament as a 1 seed. Regular season champs for the first time since the 1981 season. Going up against the Buffalo Bulls, the team that ended the Rockets season in the quarterfinals last year. And boy, we certainly had our backs way up against the wall. Trailing by 16 points in the second half. The Bulls looked like they were on the brink of running away with it and blowing us out in the quarterfinals. But we were able to dig deep and we came together and we were able to battle back. Incredible storm back in that game. The game came right down to the wire. Nail-biting finish, but able to survive and advance. Moved on into the semifinals. It was a good battle against Northern Illinois, but we were able to get some separation and win much more comfortably, 70-50 the final in the semis. And went on to the Mid-American Conference Tournament Championship game, first appearance for Toledo since the 1996 season. Seeking the first victory since the 1980 season up against the Akron Zips. And hats off to Akron. They've had a great run in the conference tournament here in the 2006 season. They won 3 straight games in 3 days. Went into this game, 4th game in 4 days. And it was a good battle until the second half. And perhaps Akron started to run out of steam a bit. So we were able to go on a run and get ourselves some separation and able to start to pull away a bit towards the end. There was a bit of a scary moment late in the game. Tommy Ireland, our senior leader, leading scorer for us, went down holding his knee. We were ready to just go crazy, ready to celebrate. We were starting to really feel like had the game on the brink of being out of reach, and we were about to take out our starters. And just unfortunately, we saw him going down holding his knee, but it is a light sprain, but he insists he is fine. He insists it will not keep him out. He insists it will not slow him down at all in the NCAA tournament, so we are good there. The celebration has been going on in Toledo. Rockets fans, a lot of them made the trip to the conference tournament, and Rockets fans have certainly been going nuts this season. So much to cheer about, and we are so excited to see where we will be going. First time in the NCAA tournament since the 1980 season. Waiting Selection Sunday show to see where the Toledo Rockets will be headed. We will take a look at the top 25 poll and everyone's record there during Selection Sunday show. First, a look at the complete picture of the 2006 Mid-American Conference Tournament. First round, Buffalo over Miami of Ohio, Bowling Green over Eastern Michigan, Akron over Central Michigan, Kent State over Ball State. Quarterfinal, this round was where the best games of the tournament were. Some nail-biting games this round. Kent State over Ohio, Akron over Western Michigan, Northern Illinois over Bowling Green. Of course, our epic 16-point second-half comeback win. Toledo over Buffalo. Semifinals, Toledo 70-50 win over Northern Illinois, and Akron a 76-70 win over Kent State in their semifinal. 2006 Mid-American Conference Tournament Championship game. The 1 seed, the Toledo Rockets, 84. The 7 seed, the Akron Zips, 66. First time since the 1980 season, the Toledo Rockets, Mid-American Conference Tournament champions, and are going dancing. Big dance awaits. We see where we will be heading. No matter what happens the rest of this way, it's been a magical journey here for the Toledo Rockets. The celebration's been going on here. We're so excited to see where we'll be heading, and we're going to give it everything we got. We're going to dig deep. We're going to go in there fired up, give it the fight of our lives. Here we go, Selection Sunday show. Excited to see it. Excited to see the reveal.
Every year in this country, the tournament adds life to spring. But it's not until the brackets are filled that March Madness springs to life. The map of the madness, the brackets, are only moments away from bringing the tournament to life. Good evening, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to the NCAA Championship Basketball Selection Show. I'm joined here at the anchor desk by my partner, Clark Kellogg. All right, get your pencils and your brackets ready. We're ready to bring you the exclusive live announcement of the seedings and the pairings for this tournament. First, some background details. Of the 65 available tournament bids, 31 are automatically given to conference champions. There are 34 at-large bids. An opening round game will be on Tuesday night to narrow the field to 64 teams. Before we get to the unveiling of this year's brackets, let's take a look at the final top 25 media poll of the season. We have a couple of changes in the rankings this week. There was a big move made in the poll. The Toledo Rockets jumped all the way from the number 19 spot to number 10. They'll certainly be trying to keep that momentum going into the tournament. Also, a new team has made the jump into the top 25. The California Golden Bears return to the poll as the number 24 team. And there you have it, the final top 25 poll of the season. Now we get to the part of the show where we look at all the teams that are out there holding their breath right now. The bubble teams. These are the 10 teams that may or may not be on their way to the big dance. Well, Clark, which teams stand out to you?
The Florida Gators have the advantage of playing in a major conference, and no doubt that will increase their chances of getting the nod.
You're right about that, and there are plenty of teams in the same boat with them.
The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers have put together a pretty good season, and the way lower-profile conference teams have fared in the tournament recently, I'd say they have a pretty good chance.
Well, they won't have to wait much longer. In just minutes, the whole country will know who's in and who's out. With that, let's get right to it and unveil this year's number 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament. The Duke Blue Devils are the top overall seed who will play in the Washington, D.C. regional. They come into the tournament on a major roll. They've been at the top of the media poll for the past 3 weeks. We'll soon find out if they can carry that momentum over into March Madness. On to the second number 1 seed who will play in the Atlanta Regional. The Connecticut Huskies are trying to win their 3rd NCAA championship in school history. The Villanova Wildcats are the 3rd number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Minneapolis Regional. They're obviously no stranger to postseason play, with the experience of last year's NCAA tournament appearance still fresh in the minds of the veteran players. And finally, our 4th and last number 1 seed will play in the Oakland Regional. The Indiana Hoosiers are in the tournament field as a number 1 seed for the 2nd time in the history of their program. That's one happy group. Getting a top seed is definitely worth celebrating. That's just what they're going to do. Now, here's how the brackets shape up based on where the number 1 seeds have been assigned. In one national semifinal game, the winner of the Washington, D.C. Regional will play the winner of the Atlanta Regional. In the other semifinal game, the winner of the Minneapolis Regional will play the winner of the Oakland Regional. Those games will be played on Saturday, April 1st. Then it'll be on to the national championship game on Monday night, April the 3rd. Those are your top seeds for this year's NCAA tournament. Clark, give us your initial take on the selection.
There are a few other teams there that could make a claim to a top seed, but the selection committee's opinion is the only one that matters, so they're just going to have to accept what the committee has decided.
So, with the number 1 seeds out of the way, it's finally time to tackle the rest of the brackets. We look first at the Washington, D.C. Regional. The Duke Blue Devils are the top seed, finishing at 32-1. Winners of the ACC Conference regular season and tournament title. They'll take on the winner of the opening round game, Mississippi Valley State's Delta Devils. With 12 wins, take on the Iona Gales out of the Metro Atlantic Conference. And now, the number 8 seed, the Iowa State Cyclones, come into the tournament on the strength of a 3rd-place finish in their conference regular season and were semifinalists in their conference tournament. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Creighton Blue Jays, who were semifinalists in their conference tournament, finishing at 19-9. The Kentucky Wildcats enter the field as the number 4 seed. Coming out of the SEC, it's yet another appearance in the brackets for a school that's no stranger to the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Idaho State Bengals. Finished the season with 17 wins. They're the regular season and tournament champions of the Big Sky Conference. The Maryland Terrapins come in as the number 5 seed. This is their 21st appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. And they will take on the 12th seed out of the Mid-Continent Conference. The Oral Roberts Golden Eagles are their conference tournament winners and will try to carry that momentum over when they play their first NCAA tournament game later this week. Next up is the number 2 seed. The Arizona Wildcats are the regular season champions of the Pac-10. They'll be going up against the number 15 seed, the Northeastern Huskies, with 17 wins. This marks their 7th appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. Our number 7 seed is out of the Pac-10. The California Golden Bears are on a hot streak, having just won their conference tournament championship. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Washington Huskies, who finished second in their conference tournament, finishing at 21 and 11. And now the number 3 seed, the Bradley Braves, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and winners of their conference tournament. As you can see, the celebration is on. A great moment for this team and their fans. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton come in to face them at number 14 with 17 wins and a Big West Conference tournament and regular season championship behind them. The Ohio State Buckeyes are in as the number 6 seed. They return to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 4 years. They'll be taking on the number 11 seed. The Minnesota Golden Gophers come in as an at-large bid out of the Big Ten. Right away, it looks to me like this bracket could have some of the teams you look at as possible sleepers. It's always tough to pin down who's going to pull the upsets, but I'll go out on a limb and say there are going to be lower seeds that make some noise here. Anything special that jumps out at you in that bracket?
The Duke Blue Devils are a team I love watching play. They've been one of the highest scoring teams in the country, and I don't see any reason for them to slow down during the tournament. If they can dictate the tempo of a game and force the other team to run with them, they are very hard to deal with. I wouldn't put it past these guys to make a run this year.
Next up, we'll take a look at the Atlanta Regional. The Connecticut Huskies are the top seed, finishing at 29 and 3, winners of the Big East Conference regular season and tournament title. They'll take on the Hawks of Maryland Eastern Shore, the number 16 ranked team all time in the NCAA tournament. And now, the number 8 seed, the Duquesne Dukes, come into the tournament after finishing second in their conference during the regular season and winners of their conference tournament. They're on their feet back on campus as their spot in the brackets is unveiled. Get a look at that celebration. The Southeastern Louisiana Lions come in to face them at number 9 with 20 wins and a Southland Conference regular season championship. The Cincinnati Bearcats come in as the number 4 seed. This will continue their tremendous run of consecutive tournament appearances. And they'll take on the 13th seed out of the Patriot League. The Holy Cross Crusaders are their conference regular season and tournament winners after just a tremendous season for them. The UCLA Bruins enter the field as the number 5 seed. Coming out of the Pac-10, it's yet another appearance in the brackets for a school that's no stranger to the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 12 seed, the Old Dominion Monarchs. Finished the season with 18 wins. They're the regular season champions of the Colonial Athletic Conference. Our number 2 seed is out of Conference USA. The Alabama Birmingham Blazers had a tremendous year that included a regular season championship. They're going to play the number 15 seed, the Northwestern State Demons, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 16 and 10. Next up is the number 7 seed. The North Carolina Tar Heels have established themselves as one of the best teams out of the ACC. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the George Washington Colonials, with 18 wins. This will be their 8th appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. The Boston College Eagles are in as the number 3 seed. They earned their 2nd trip in a row to the NCAA tournament. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed. The Trojans of Arkansas Little Rock come in as tournament champions of the Sun Belt Conference. And now the number 6 seed, the Texas Longhorns, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and were semifinalists in their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, who were semifinalists in their conference tournament, finishing at 20 and 10. I always like to look down the road and try to find the most intriguing matchups in the later rounds, and this bracket could give us one of those. A pairing of the top 2 seeds in this bracket's regional final would be just an awesome game, and I think it's going to happen. Is there any one team that stands out to you there?
The Connecticut Huskies are going to provide serious matchup problems to any team that doesn't have depth and defensive ability at both guard spots. They have outstanding backcourt play at both ends of the court. It's the main reason they've made it this far, and they're going to have to maintain that form if they want to do some damage in this tournament.
Our third regional breakdown of the day. Let's take a look at the Minneapolis Regional. The Villanova Wildcats are the top seed, finishing at 25-4. Runners-up of the Big East. They'll take on the Cleveland State Vikings, the number 16 ranked team. This marks their first appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. Our number 8 seed is out-of-conference USA. The Houston Cougars were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the big dance. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Cougars of the College of Charleston, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 19-6. The Arkansas Razorbacks enter the field as the number 4 seed. Coming out of the SEC, this is their 27th appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed. The Hartford Hawks finished the season with 19 wins. They're the regular season and tournament champions of the America East Conference. The LSU Tigers are in as the number 5 seed. They'll be taking on the number 12 seed. The Western Michigan Broncos come in as an at-large bid out of the MAC. And now the number 2 seed, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and winners of their conference tournament. And there are high fives all around back on campus where the celebration has already begun. The Rice Owls come in to face them at number 15 with 16 wins and a Conference USA tournament championship behind them. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Colorado Buffaloes have established themselves as one of the best teams out of the Big 12. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Northern Iowa Panthers, with 19 wins. This is their 3rd appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. And now the number 3 seed, the Toledo Rockets, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and winners of their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 14 seed, the East Tennessee State Buccaneers, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 20-10. The Alabama Crimson Tide come in as the number 6 seed. This is their 4th trip in a row to the NCAA tournament. And they take on the 11th seed out of the SEC. The Florida Gators impressed the selection committee enough to earn an at-large bid, even if it is on the bottom half of the bracket. You're really going to want to keep an eye on this bracket. There's the possibility of some great second and third round games here. You never know what's going to happen in the first round, but if everything goes according to form, this could make for some very entertaining matchups. What do you think about that one, Clark?
The Alabama Crimson Tide do the one thing that all great teams absolutely must do, and that's play tremendous team defense. These guys have been shutting down opponents all year with a combination of speed, intelligence, and sheer determination. There have been NCAA championship teams of all shapes and sizes, but all of them played good, strong defense.
The last but definitely not the least regional on the list, we'll take a look at the Oakland Regional. The Indiana Hoosiers are the top seed, finishing at 26-4. Winners of the Big Ten Conference regular season and tournament title. They'll take on the Long Island Blackbirds, the number 16 ranked team. This is their 3rd appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. Next up is the number 8 seed. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets have established themselves as one of the best teams out of the ACC. They'll be going up against the number 9 seed, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, with 20 wins. This is their 6th appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. And now the number 4 seed, the Illinois Fighting Illini, come into the tournament after finishing 2nd in their conference during the regular season and finished 2nd in their conference tournament. What a scene as they finally get to see their name in the brackets. It'll be a fun night for these folks. The UNLV Runnin' Rebels come in to face them at number 13 with 18 wins and a Mountain West Conference tournament championship behind them. The Charlotte 49ers come in as the number 5 seed. This will be their 11th appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. And they will take on the 12th seed out of the Northeast Conference. The Terriers of St. Francis are rewarded for their great play this season with an at-large berth in the tournament. The Nevada Wolfpack enter the field as the number 2 seed. Coming out of the WAC conference, this marks their 4th appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. They'll be getting ready to face the number 15 seed. The Radford Highlanders finished the season with 14 wins. They're the tournament champions of the Big South Conference. And now the number 7 seed, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, come into the tournament 6th in their conference during the regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Oklahoma Sooners, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 20-10. The Louisville Cardinals are in as the number 3 seed. They earn their 3rd consecutive appearance in the NCAA tournament. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed. The Harvard Crimson come in as regular season champions of the Ivy League. Our number 6 seed is out of the Big Ten. The Purdue Boilermakers were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Murray State Racers, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 19-9. Certainly looks to me that this bracket is going to be the strongest of the 4. They have several teams I think are capable not only getting to the Final 4, but of winning it all. And even some of the lower seeds here have the potential to advance. This is a really deep, really difficult bracket. Well, Clark, what's your impression of the teams in the final bracket?
The Indiana Hoosiers have more to prove than any other team in this tournament. They haven't had a lot of experience in the tournament recently, so it's difficult to say exactly how they'll handle it. They've shown they're capable of playing with the best teams in the nation during the regular season. Now they need to show they belong with those teams come tournament time.
There's no more need for talk. Now we have all the facts. Tell us what you think about the tournament's top 16 seeds.
Well, I have to admit, for once, these seeds look pretty good to me. I think the selection committee really got it right this time. The Arizona Wildcats are a team I'm not especially high on. They're all the way up there at a 2 seed, but I'd be surprised to see them make a serious run at the Final 4. Clearly, the selection committee feels the best conference in the country is the Big East. They've got more teams in the top 16 than any other conference, and that says an awful lot about the quality of this league from top to bottom.
Now, let's look at the breakdown by conference. The ACC gets 6 teams. The Big Ten with 5 out of the Big East. The SEC gets 5 teams. The Pac-10 with 4 out of the Big 12.
What a tremendous year for teams out of the Missouri Valley Conference. They got the most bids of any mid-major, and if they keep this up, we might remove that mid and call them a major conference pretty soon.
And let's not forget the teams out of the Northeast Conference. Those squads had a great year. They put fear in the big boys more than once this season, and one of those teams could be a sleeper pick in this tournament.
I can't believe there's only one team out of the Mountain West Conference. What a disappointing year for that conference. The balance of power is cyclical. It shifts amongst the major conferences, and they better hope it's going to swing back in their favor soon.
We talked about the bubble teams earlier. Now, let's check back on them and see who got their ticket punched. What do you think of the list now, Clark?
The Florida Gators caught the eye of the selection committee with what we call quality wins against tough opponents. They beat some top 20 teams this year, and that makes a huge difference when you're on the bubble.
Absolutely, and I know we have a few more teams on the list that are celebrating.
The Western Michigan Broncos have got to be just thrilled right now, obviously. As a coach and a player, you've just got to relax and say we've done all we can, and it's out of our hands now. But that still doesn't make it any easier. Well, we know there are a few teams on the other side of the equation that weren't too thrilled to get the bad news today. The New Mexico Lobos probably lost out because of their terrible strength of schedule. They didn't really play anybody of quality. They simply did not play enough difficult games, and you're not going to cope in with a soft schedule.
Not a happy day on that campus, that's for sure, but they'll have some company when it comes to watching the tournament on television this year.
The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers have the misfortune of not playing in a major conference, and we know that always is a handicap, at least on some occasions, come Selection Sunday. They had a great year, but now it's NIT. Here we come.
Well, partner, I think we're ready to start the real show. What do you say?
Well, Greg, that sounds good to me. I think it's going to be an incredible tournament. I can't wait until we actually throw the ball up in the air and get these games started.
So for my partner, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of us here in the studio, I'm Greg Gumbel signing off. Now, let the madness begin.
Here we go. Time for the 2006 NCAA tournament. We know our place. We know our seed. And we are delighted with our seed, a 3 seed in the Minneapolis region. Very excited about that for sure. Didn't think we would have that high of a seed, but we moved up in the rankings. and that is our spot. There were some interesting decisions from the committee for sure. It's a matchup, a rematch of the Pac-10 championship game, Washington and California, and a big surprise, Western Michigan making the tournament. They were surprisingly won the bubble. They surprisingly got in. So another team from the Mid-American Conference in the Big Dance. They certainly had a much more difficult out-of-conference schedule than we had. They had some nice out-of-conference wins, but so congratulations to them. We were in a two-bid conference and going as a 3 seed. So fired up about this. Taking on East Tennessee State, and this is not an easy matchup. They are a very good team, a 20-10 team. We will get to work studying film on them, and Tommy Ireland will get his knee as good a shape as possible, and we will get to work and practice. We will be fired up and ready to go. We will be absolutely prepared. Dream come true to be in this spot, ready to begin the NCAA tournament. We'll be taking on the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. We are the 3 seed, they are the 14 seed. That is the first round matchup. Dream come true to be in this point, ready to play our best basketball of our lives. Let's do it. Let's go Toledo.